So at the end of last year, so I don't know if everyone's been keeping on like what's going on in artificial intelligence, which is what AI stands for, which you're going to hear us saying a lot about. But there were some cool things that started happening around. You could, by putting some words in, create images in that DALL-E thing.
Yeah.
And this is all kind of hosted this open AI group, but basically, this repository, and everyone's kind of trying to stick, I think, to the same framework around something that
I think they're like kind of fighting it out to some extent because Google has their version. You got these
OpenAI seems to be like winning though. They get the most publicity.
Yeah. I mean, Chat GPT kind of blew it up.
That's the one. So I immediately went and got an account. First of all, it said the servers are too busy. Everyone's trying to get in. We'll get back to you. That was
interesting.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
And then I created an account, and it's so simple. At the website.
Yeah.
And of course, the first thing I thought about was, could this help write a sermon?
Right.
That was my first thought.
Like artificial intelligence, right? For like people that like artificial. Again, this is like we're talking about topics. Dean and I are not experts in artificial intelligence, but it's
we're
like
common sense, smart guys.
Yeah, it's like I don't know how to describe it like in layman's terms. It's literally like machines doing intelligent things.
Well, it's that, and then it's like trillions of lines of code that have recorded in them. Like, I think this could be a Google killer.
Oh,
you literally.
Google's the most worried about this out of 100%. Any tech company on the planet.
100%.
ChatGPT replaces search like that.
But
you know what I learned about ChatGPT? It's not hooked up to the internet.
It's on a separate blockchain, or
it's like it just learns. It's self-learning. Like they program it over time, but it kind of learns.
Yeah.
But it's not hooked up to like a data source. It's been trained up to like 2020.
Okay.
Like data.
Yep.
But it's not hooked up to the internet, which I thought was kind of interesting. That you wouldn't do it, but I guess the internet is also filled with a bunch of garbage too. So maybe they're trying to keep it safe and keep it kind of controlled.
I put in John 3:16.
Yeah.
And boom, and back came like a fairly simple, kind of 6th grade level explanation of John 3:16.
Solid.
It wasn't like crazy.
Yeah.
But it told me the basics of the gospel, which is, pretty much the gospel described in one verse, John 3:16.
Yeah.
So it was not heretical and it was actually down the middle, good stuff. And then I started doing, I wanted some commentary around Romans chapter 1. And it was thinking, and then boom, down it comes. And if you do it, it's like does a sentence, and literally the cursor's going, and it's just populating.
And writing it out in front of you.
It's writing it out in front of you. And then, man, it was pretty awesome. So it's not like today going to replace doing a big Bible study and kind of going down the rabbit hole and getting commentaries and reading theologians and all that good stuff. But it's going to get there.
Right.
There is no question.
Now that it's opened up to the world, right?
It just gets smarter and smarter and smarter, right?
Trained, right?
It crawls around and finds more info. But I could see what I thought it was going to go, I think, is this is maybe 5 years away. You will put in what you want to do the sermon about. It will create a video of you on the stage preaching the message. That's where I think it's going to go.
Yeah. We will not be making these podcasts real anymore in a couple of years. We're just going to put in a topic with our names and be like, please make an episode. And it's
I said write a 10-point blog post on giving and on generosity.
Yeah,
it wrote it.
Right.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, you're like, this is a great outline to start with. Like, I can use this, and then I can kind of build into it. I mean, like, I was watching some stuff because it's blown up, right? Again, if you're watching and you don't...
1 million downloads in like a week.
Yeah, it's the fastest growing thing, like tech thing.
Yep.
like it's faster growing than like Facebook or Pinterest or Twitter. Like it's growing faster than all of these guys.
Right.
And in terms of users getting in it, using it. But I was watching this thing. So again, so if you're like listening, like artificial intelligence, this thing's called Chat GPT. So you can just search for Chat GPT and you'll find it.
Yeah.
And it basically, like, you can put in a question or a topic or a comment or like anything, and it'll give you an answer, you know? And it's
it's not copyright. Like, it doesn't have copyright issues. No one else has ever written like that. It just produces it.
Yeah.
So like, it's like, think about writing books and homework.
No,
like,
two things. Yeah. Like literally, like homework is gone. Like my kids are never going to do homework because like,
don't do an essay on Benjamin Franklin. Bam.
So what happens? I literally asked this question to my brother-in-law. We were chatting about this and I was like, well, what happens if like the 8th grade class? So my kids are going to go into 6th grade next year. They're in 5th grade right now. They're going to go in 6th grade, right? They're in 6th grade. They have to write some kind of book report on I don't know. Right. So the whole class has to write a book report on one person.
Right.
What if all 35 kids go to Chat GPT and put in, write me a 5-page book report on Benjamin Franklin? Are they going to get 35 different book reports back?
I think that's the point.
Right? Like that would be so fascinating.
I think
see it. And then how are teachers gonna?
It's over.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I was watching something earlier today. A guy literally was like, write me a children's book about Jack. Write me a children's book that rhymes with the name Jack, who lives in America, or something like that. Like he kind of described it. And then it literally wrote a children's book. And then he took that and he went to another AI tool that does like animations. And he's like, give me the character Jack from America who loves apples. Like I making it up, right? And it gave him an animated figure.
Sure.
And then he's going to take that animation and illustrate every page of the book and then publish it as a Kindle resource.
Like the point of all this is, I think, you and I geek out on this stuff. You know, we've known each other like 8 years and like we love this stuff, but I think it's really important for church leaders to be knowing what's coming.
Right.
Like being on the edge of all this technology that's going to touch you. It's going to touch the people around you in your church. It's going to touch your children, and to be front foot forward when it comes to this. Like you can just throw your hands up and go, this is insane. Like, you know, I don't want to know anything about this, but you got to be the opposite as a church leader. The church has to be on the front foot here on all of this stuff. And we're getting better. Like, you know, I think gone are the days where church, you know, put their head in the sand and don't want to kind of engage on stuff like this. But if you're listening and you're like even like challenged about, you know, why is Tim Frank talking about AI, Chat GPT? It's because it's going to change your life and the people in your church. They're going to be affected by it.
Yeah, like what if you have this is having not spent a whole lot of time thinking about all the implications, but in the context of church, maybe you have like a college ministry like at your church. And so you have all these college students, university students who are in school, they're active in the church. Well, certainly the topic of like sort of research and homework and studying and exams and all that stuff's going to come up. And then you get into the world of like, you know, what's right or like cheating or not cheating, or should you use it? Should you not use it? Like it's a topic that will be relevant here pretty quick, like probably this year. Yeah. And
that's back now. This thing, there was already like, if you go to the Chat GPT thing, there's always all these applications that have already been written.
Yeah.
You know, that it's already, it's going, it's going to be nuts.
Like we have buddies, that created a tool called Jasper AI.
Yep.
And they raised, I forget the number. This was last year. So in kind of a rough economy, rough market, even for fundraising for tech companies, not great. They got valued at like 1.2 or 1.4 billion.
Right.
An AI platform.
Yep.
That like, this is, I don't want this to be offensive because it's more than this, but to dumb it way, way down, like it would write your newsletters or your website copy for you. Like incredibly, like sort of technically sophisticated, probably behind the scenes, but this AI thing got valued at, 1.245, somewhere in there, like over $1 billion.
And like you and I both know that venture capital has like fads.
Right.
Right. So, and this will, like, remember scooters? Like 3 or 4 years ago, it was like scooter companies were getting valued at billions, and they kind of, they go through, and this AI is definitely going to be a next place for a lot
the
of
2023 tech thing for sure. Yeah. It'll be everywhere. Yeah. So, and, hopefully some pastors will write sermons using it. I'm going
to do a sermon series, and we'll do it in our blog or something, or we'll do it on here and we can look at it. But yeah, I'm working on stuff where I want to do a sermon series using ChatGPT, and we'll see how it goes.
See what pops out.
It's awesome.
Use it to write your social media posts. Use it to write your church newsletter, like to give you drafts of stuff, like to kind of, like if you can get yourself 50% of the way there.
It gives you outlines. You say, give me an outline off. And
exactly.
Then you get 6 points, and away you go.
Yeah. Or I don't know, give me 10 social media posts about X for people who live in Washington that don't go to church. Like you could write that specifically and see what it comes back with and be like, oh, that's interesting. Or no, that's stupid. Like, no, I would never use this. Right. And, but you could play around with a bunch of things, and then you can go write a children's book completely for free, publish it on a Kindle.
The point is, church leader, embrace technology.
Yes.
Don't be afraid. Whether it's ChatGPT this week, whatever it is we're talking about next week, it's over.
It was social media for the last 10 years, right? Yep. Like get on social media, do all these things, right? And not that that's going away, but there's another wave of stuff that it just keeps coming.
Yeah, embrace it. Good stuff, man. All right. That was a good one.
Yep. Let's go. Let us hear about all your AI questions and concerns, and let's keep. I feel like we'll have to talk about this one a few times this year and see how it evolves.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
See y'all.